Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpacktrader training room for Wednesday, June 28th, 2023. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds that you can afford to do without. All right. We'll need that again for the crude oil inventory session this morning. Good morning, Miles. Good morning, Aaron. All right, crude. First trade, 909.35 is a long that ends up being a full stop out for a 16 tick risk, 32 tick loss. And we get a long trade, goes to target at sets up 912.40, goes to target 1 for 19 ticks and trails out for an additional 3, so 22 ticks. That leaves us down 10, and we get into our third trade, which is a short that is in trouble at the moment. And looking like it may give us a full stop out there. That's going to be another 46 tick. Yep, there's your stop out. That's a 46 tick loss. 56 tick. It's down, net down on the day. So a losing session on the 9 a.m. session. No 10 a.m. session. We do have the crude inventory report at 10:30. Unleaded. Our first trade of the morning actually is this, would have been this yellow short, but that went through too fast. I did take a look at it, and it was 4 seconds, and it was already beyond the entry and never came back. So that one went too fast to trade. So then we pick up the short at 297. That stops and reverses to long at 325. So that's a 28 tick loss, 56 ticks, or 28 tick risk, 56 tick loss. Total on 2 positions. But the problem is that one too went through too fast to actually get into the long. That would have been a market out situation on the short, and probably would be down a little bit more than 56. So then our next trade is this at 200 EMA short, not actually part of the trade plan. And that's the trade it's still in at the moment. Looks like we would have picked up a short trade right here. Actually, this one is right there because that's not a stop and reverse. So we get a target 1, which would get target one traders, that's going to get target one traders POQ. You will be positive. Target two traders just pick up a couple of ticks on the break-even stop out, and we are in the market. Market is open. YM's gone too far, as has soybeans. Soybeans has a short setup. YM looking for its next setup, and we are in the long. Then we stop and we have a stop and reverse at 29. That triggers in, hits money management, and comes back for another couple of ticks. So we picked up 4 ticks, but we're still on for target 2 traders only. But we're still working out. And then we get another 200 EMA trade. That one goes to target 1 again, and yet another 2-tick stop out. Good morning, Mark. It's too hot for coffee this morning, huh? And we have a long setup on the micro Russell, and a long setup on unleaded that doesn't trigger it. Short setup does trigger. So where do we go from here? Ouch. Micro Russell gives us a full stop, because that hit the entry after I called the trade, and now has gone to the full stop. And I actually missed this trade on soybeans, picking up a long that has hit targets. Actually has hit all 3 targets and is trailing now at 66 flat, picking up 6, 10, and 14 ticks. Minimum trade size, picking up 30 ticks on the targets. YM has stopped out of its initial trade. Micro Russell has a short trade, definitely in it, and that just actually, that hit money management. Now the question is, how fast? 4 seconds, 6 seconds, 12 seconds to there. And hit money management exactly. And I'll call that one a break even. I suspect it was probably too fast to trade. So we have a loss and a break even. And we have another stop and reverse on. That's going to be at 325. So we are still short, even though the calculator's tracking the long. We are actually still in the short trade. And now at money management, we can in a new short trade, or showing a new short trade. So at 83 for the stop. If we can get target, we should be POQ. Pound Aussie had a long trade that got to money management, didn't get to our first actionable target up at target 2. So we just pick up a one pip break even, which actually is 2.5 pips per position loss after spread. Soybean stops out at 1271 from our entry at 1261. No, I'm sorry. Our entry at 1264.50. So we have 5.5 points on the trailer, another 7.5 points on targets, and that is a one and done on soybeans. And looks like another one tick stop out on unleaded. That's our sixth. That's at least 6 trades. We hit the one tick stop point from the original trade, and so actually that's going to be our 6th trade. So unfortunately for target 2 traders, we end up with a negative session. Not very, very negative, because it was just a very small loss. But then we had, well, actually we could take this trade. So that would be a get in sync, and we would be short. This actually would be trade number 6. And since we have completed the prior trade, it is now valid. Nothing on the YM. Long trade on the micro NQ. Micro NQ at session low, setting new session lows, but now bouncing up to test the 50 and 200 EMAs. And there, this is a bigger trade. This is a big trade, as a matter of fact. So target 2 will be our actionable target, and we are at break even, 56.2 for the stop. And that's going to be a stop and reverse exit on unleaded. So we end up slightly losing, small losing session on the target for target 2 traders. Target 1 traders got POQ on that 200 EMA, first 200 EMA trade. So we will see, looking at, here's the micro NQ. that trade, looking at this wick right here, we are in this trade. So that is target 2 and target 3 win, trailing at 0.75 3/4. And break even stop out on the micro Russell. So 1 loss, 2 break evens on the micro Russell, and a short trade that I missed on pound Aussie. Yeah, that should be in that. Micro NQ setting new session highs. Well, of course, it hasn't got a great deal of range on yet. Less than 100 points. Given that we're on a 12-point brick, that's not a lot of movement. Session low at 15.021.25, and session high now at 15.101 flat. So just 80 points. And micro NQ stopping out of the long trade, and now short. The Russell in a long, so divergence again. The YM has a long trade now. That looks like it's taking some heat. And money management on the micro NQ. Full stop out on the Russell. Not a nice, that's 2 losses. Short trade now on the Russell. Has not triggered in yet. All right, target 2. That's a second win on the pound on the micro NQ. Hitting target 2, currently at break-even stop 69.5. No trigger on the short on the micro Russell. And a long on the micro Russell, 60.1. Yep, definitely in that. So the Russell is long, and we have a stop and reverse, positive territory, so we don't adjust on this one. 66 3/4. Entry, yes, 66 3/4. Trade number 3 on the micro NQ. 2 wins so far and another full stop out. That ends our micro Russell session. Tough session. 3 losses, 2 break-evens. For a bad day. The YM long trade stopped out. Full stop out there. YM can get a long trade if we close above the balance line. Pound Aussie getting very, very close to money management. And it looks like money management at 92.6, and we got as low as 91.9. So money management on the Pound Aussie. right. Micro NQ still surviving in the long. Micro Russell is done. Target 2 on the pound Aussie is 0.82, and we got that says we got as low as 91, so yeah, definitely didn't get. I'm sorry, target 1 is at 091, yeah. And we got to 091.3, so just missing target 1. YM with another long. Pound Aussie stop at 106. And looks like we hit money management on the micro NQ and then came back for a break-even stop out. So flat on trade number after trade number 2. Trade number 3 rather. 2 wins and a break-even. Testing the balance line on the pound Aussie. Yeah, micro NQ. Very close to the stop, but not there yet. YM hovering just below the entry at 051. This is actually a POQ trade now on the pound Aussie. That's our second. This will be our second money management trade. And trade number 4 on the micro NQ is another long. And looks like we have another entry for the long on the YM. So YM is long, needing to push up through the 50 EMA. That looks like it may be a tall order. A very solidly down morning on the YM. And money management on the micro NQ trade. This will be at least a break even for trade number 4. And the micro NQ pulling back, still in the trade. The YM back below the entry again. Micro NQ setting there, and there's micro NQ stopping out on the break-even stop. So that is second break-even with 2 wins. So we can take up to 2 more trades. And a short stop and reverse on the YM. Entry plotted at 42. That'll put it at 39. Let's see if we make. And we are in the short. Stop and reverse to short on the YM. And break even stop out on the pound Aussie. That ends the pound Aussie session. Okay, this will be a this will be a target 1, minimum 20 tick target. Trade number 5 on the micro NQ is a short. So we'll see where this goes. And as I said, there is a long trade setup on the pound Aussie, but we are POQ with 2 money management trades this morning. Net loss with our trade costs, it's spread, but positive before our costs, picking up essentially 5 pips on each of those 2 trades as far as the system is concerned. But unfortunately, about a 12.5 pip loss on each of those 2 trades after spread. So we come down to just the micro NQ, and this is trade number 5. So we may actually get all our trades in before 10:15. I will be shutting down in about 12 or 13 minutes, about 12 minutes, actually 11 or 12 minutes now. So I can get ready for the crude oil inventory session. Micro Russell and the micro NQ made it to session open or new session highs for the micro NQ. Now pulling back a bit, both of them, and the and stopping out at 38 because of the stop and reverse. We did pick up the 20 tick target. But unfortunately we took a 62 tick loss on the first trade. And we go 51 to 39 for 12.24 tick. So down 86, so pick up 20, down 66, 65, and that's where we stand. Money management on the micro NQ. $78.5 for the break-even stop. And then another long trade on the YM. 041. Looks like it's possible we have a 1, 2, double bottom here, so long reversal is a possibility. But it's going to have to get through the 20 SMA. Micro NQ still just hanging around. And we did bounce off the 50 EMA on the YM. So trending day on the YM. 50 EMA definitely providing resistance to move higher. And good morning. She 170. Alright, micro NQ. In consolidation. Bounced off the 200 EMA effectively. So finding support there. The YM hanging around the entry just below the 20 SMA now. Okay, these She 170. The NQ setting, micro NQ, is on Catapult. Do you have that? The YM is on Spotlight. So what strategies do you have on NinjaTrader? All right, the YM stopping and reversing to short at 34. Well, actually, that's going to be 34.017, and definitely reversing. Okay, micro NQ, target 2, so that is win number 3 on 5th trade. Okay, the settings I'm using for this one essentially are the settings for the 6-point bar, but where this is a 12 tick or 12 point or 48 tick brick with a 3-point or 12 tick offset. And I'm running Unirenko for the custom Renko bars. Okay, I have not got time to get in. That's a reverse too long, positive again, so that one we do not adjust. Trade number 6. Last trade of the day, but I'm not going to be able to stick around for it. I got to transition over. Come in tomorrow morning, or if you can come into the crude oil. Well, and see, I'm not going to have those charts up during the crude session, inventory session. But yeah, that's the settings for this micro NQ on Catapult are it's a 12 point 3-point offset custom Renko, but it uses the same settings as the 6.2. This is just because the 6.2 was just a little too volatile when we were looking at it several months ago. You're welcome, Aaron. The YM is basically the standard trade plan on the Spotlight website. This is just standard default trade plan for the YM. 14 tick range bar, 14 point tick range bar on NinjaTrader. Nothing special about that one. All right, folks, I'm going to have to close this one down, and I'll be back in about 13 minutes, probably more like about 10, for the crude oil inventory session. Crude oil inventory report at 10:30. We'll wait 2 minutes and start trading the crude. We'll look at the spotlight chart, 8-tick momentum bar, 8-tick range on NinjaTrader, the unleaded 20-tick range bar, 20.002 momentum bar, and we'll look at the counterpunch 377 tick chart. So we'll see you shortly.